Believing in Jesus means that it is worth having Jesus in our life. From a child who stands outside a classroom under some punishment to people in prison, we can see the burden of condemnation. Some pronounce judgment even upon themselves and live in that pain. Jesus did not come to condemn the world. He preached the good news as an expression of God's unconditional love for the world. In his words and deeds, he became a visible sign of God's love. Many instances in the ministry of Jesus and the parables show how Jesus always preferred mercy that generated life and love to condemnation that would bring only destruction. It is good to examine what we prefer, condemnation or experience of God's love. It is easy to stick ourselves to condemnation because innumerous doable solutions are ready at hand. But experiencing the love of God is a bit difficult and risky because it touches our hearts and asks for a response. He has loved us with an everlasting love. We are received into His love and are made His own. If we continue to bear the burden of guilt and shame, actually we are focusing on ourselves and our sins rather than God and His unconditional love. Thus, we center our faith on condemnation, not on salvation. So, condemnation is our choice, not pronounced by God. Even though there was light, we might prefer to be in darkness. Even though there is life, we might love death. Salvation, in fact, is the experience of the embracing love of God. Anyone who believes in Him believes in the embracing love of God and places their confidence in the life that is given to us. Believing in Jesus is not just knowing or professing that Christ lived, died, rose, and He will come again. Nor does believe mean a set of pious practices. Believing in Jesus means that it is worth having Jesus in our life. For our life, visions, dreams, even death finds Jesus as the true worth of life, inspiration and model for imitation for the love He offered to all. Finding that worth is a commitment to what He taught and the life He lived. It makes a life spring up in our own lives. On the other hand, believing in Jesus also calls us to imitate this love of God and not to condemn. Do our holiness and virtues condemn others as sinners? Do our certainties condemn others without love and respect? Do we use the verses in the scriptures to pronounce judgment upon others? What can we gain by condemning? By condemning, we cannot bring up life, nor can we establish righteousness. Our faith must open our very lives to the signs of light and truth. They may be gentle expressions of care, accompaniment, and love. They are indeed the seeds of the gospel. Then, whatever we do may be done in God. We too can be instruments of the joy of salvation, the freedom in the abundance of life. God loved the world so much so that He gave His Son, and in Him we may have the fullness of life.